Hey there, friends and enemies, JoPaWrites here again, and today I've got another secret archetype to check out in Remnant 2 with you guys, this time being the Alchemist. Minor spoilers for how to unlock this. It's nothing with the main campaign, but it is something that is a very cool cutscene that you're going to want to check out, but I'm going to include it in the video, so keep that in mind. If you want to, you can skip ahead. Anyway, you're going to be traveling through Losum. It's very easy to obtain this, but it's RNG based because there are going to be these sewer grates that have an opening in the bars that you'll pass by. You can see them in a bunch of different tiles, so keep that in mind. I know other people have found them in different locations than I have, and you're just going to want to check each and every one that you pass. Eventually, you're going to get pulled under, fight this werebeast, and defeat it in order to get the mysterious stone. You turn that into Wallace. He's going to give you the Philosopher's Stone, which gives you the Alchemist Archetype. So this one is very, very good. I haven't really played around with it at max level yet, but just from the little bit that I have, there's a lot of benefits to running this archetype, especially as a secondary. I don't know if I would ever use it mainly as my primary, because of the prime perk being Alchemist can spend one additional concoction, or can have one additional concoction but active. I don't know if that's my playstyle personally. The perk is called Spirited, but as far as its other skills, there are some that can be very, very good. I was using Stone Mist a lot. Essentially, it reduces incoming damage by 25%, reduces stagger, greatly increases blight buildup, decay rate, and makes the target immune to status effects. And you throw these vials at your feet for each of the three skills, and they can affect not only you but also your teammates. I have found that Stone Mist is absolutely perfect for a melee build. You can just essentially drop it at your feet and rush in and just start swinging away, and you take so much less damage that you can stay alive a lot easier. You can run this with either the Challenger, you can run it with Medic if you want to stay alive, but there's a lot of good options there, and it's one of the archetype skills that I actually really love as a secondary option with other archetypes. So the second skill that they have is Frenzy Dust. This is going to increase fire rate, reload speed, and melee speed by 20% and movement speed by 15%. This is good if you don't have a problem staying alive. This is the one to go with, because essentially you're going to just do more damage, and that's always a nice thing, because increased fire rate, reload speed, and melee speed is going to just lead to more DPS over time. So I really like that one as well. This is one that, if you, again, once you're able to stay alive easily, that's the direction you want to go. If you're having problems staying alive and you have other ways to buff your damage, then Stone Mist is going to be just a little bit better. And then finally, we have Elixir of Life. This is really good if you're running a support class. If you are in a party where you're going to want to regen health without using your souls, your stones. So Living Will grants 5 health regeneration per second and protects against fatal damage. That is very nice, and it lasts 20 seconds. Can revive down players as well. So again, if you have teammates who are having problems staying alive, you need to run a support class in order to do so. This is a perfect option. That's what I was kind of saying with the Alchemist. It feels like it does a lot of things really well, but isn't a standout in any one particular place. You can really lean into using concoctions if you want to, but I do feel like, as far as the skills go, they're a good supplement as a second archetype to a lot of different builds. Then we get into the traits. Liquid Courage grants a 2.5% increase to all damage. Obviously, that's nice, just a flat damage buff. Then we've got curative effects applied to all allies within 15 meters and grant 15 additional resistance. Panacea, that's a very nice one. Again, as a support class, that could be really, really handy. Then we've got the Gold to Lead utility perk. Picking up scrap has a 15% chance to also award ammo to the Alchemist. Nice if you run out of ammo often as an additional option. And then finally, Experimentalist, the relic perk. Using a relic applies a random buff on the Alchemist for 30 seconds. Cannot be overridden. That's RNG based, but it could be very, very good. So it's one that I would have to play around with and see how consistently good it is in order to give judgment on that. But otherwise, like I said, the skills can be very nice to complement a lot of other builds. Then we've got the Potency Archetype trait. Increases consumable duration by 10%. If you are a player who uses consumables consistently, this is a good archetype for you, and it's going to really make the most out of all those benefits. So keep that in mind. But if you are a player who is just looking to add some skills into your playstyle, that's where this one really shines, in my personal opinion, because of the variety. You can really, as you level this up, mix and match. You can try engineer as your primary build, a handler, pretty much any other archetype can be your primary, and then you can have alchemist always as your secondary with these skills that are going to be very, very beneficial. So I really like this one. I think it's going to be one that I'm going to use a ton on new playthroughs as my secondary archetype when I am messing around with different builds and trying to see exactly what I want to do, what direction I want to go. As far as the gameplay goes, you'll see I really focus on the melee with this build. For me personally, I take down a mini boss really fast, and that is because I am just unafraid to go in there with the stone skin and jump in and just do as much damage as possible, because I know I'm going to not take a ton of damage. You can heal as you need to, but yeah, adding a heal skill to that on top of it, if you really need to stay alive, would create an ultimate tank type character as well. Same thing if you combine this with the challenger, you can make a super tank if you want to, and essentially never die. So if you were a player who is struggling to stay alive, if you are a player who just wants to be a frontline melee tank, or a tank in general with maybe a shotgun or something of that nature, then this is the perfect chance to do that, and that's why I really like this archetype. So I kind of went on a little bit of a ramble there about builds, but I really wanted to focus on that with the Alchemist, because this is one that, if you look at it on the surface value, it doesn't shine in any way that is going to be obvious right at the beginning. So I think a lot of people might overlook this archetype. Ultimately, you have something like the engineer, which just does a bunch of damage with your turrets, and it's just extra damage because your turrets can be on the ground while you are firing alongside of it. Then you got something like the summoner, which the flavor is really cool. You have enhanced summons. You can buff all of your other summons as well, whether you're running a handler or you are running an engineer or something like that. You don't have the melee focus or something, or the up close focus of challenger. You don't have the medic focus, and I think that's something that this is the jack of all trades, master of none type of archetype, and I think it's still going to be very, very good ultimately. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Is this an archetype that you're going to want to chase and use? What do you think of the archetype so far? Are you enjoying using it? If you've obtained it already. My name is JoPa. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you want to see more Remnant 2 content on the channel, because I'm going to have loads of it going forward. Secrets, gameplay, buffs, builds, all that kind of good stuff. And I've really been enjoying the game. I think it's an absolute masterpiece. I hope everyone joining us with the full launch has a blast. My name is JoPa. I hope you have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.